Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with the weekly comic book roundup. We've got actually not too big of a haul this week, surprisingly. So let's get started. Kick things off. We've got Nightcrawlers #3, wrapping up yet another Sins of Sinister miniseries, and almost wrapping up the story. Where we left off, the Emma Frost. The Empress of the Red Diamond attacked the World Farm and was turned away by Resurrected Storm, who basically burned herself out in the process. But others had learned were heading towards the World Farm, namely Mother Righteous. So we get a bit of what's happened in the last 900 years with Mother Righteous's sect. She has apparently been ready for her big move for centuries. There were things like the Silver Mercator unleashed the low key core from the Omniverse. Apparently, the only original member of one of her original Nightcrawlers remaining is Anti-Fortune. She won in a game of chance against a future version of Mojo. There was also the business with the teeming dukedom and its crusade against the Brood. An army of Jamie Madroxes. But her followers are degenerating, and even with the constant recloning, they're Dr. Nemesis's head is now a giant. Seems to be. And actually, this Ego the Living Planet, Ego the Fungal Planet would actually be apt where Dr. Nemesis is concerned. But yeah, so they went out to go to the World Farm. And there's we had a write-up of contingency plans of Mother Righteous. Apparently Voxinus has discovered the rest of the spirits of vengeance are still out there. One of them has, in fact, possessed Galactus. But one might recall that in the first month it was mentioned that Galactus was seemingly killed by, or no, it wasn't Galactus. It was Thanos. Thanos was killed, basically by shrinking down Juggernaut and firing him with a bullet. Well, same basic principle without the shrinking. Juggernaut going through Galactus' head. But Mother Righteous, being, a clone of Mr. Sinister, yeah. She was, of course, lying. She has a magic virus, which she plans to unleash upon the Moira engine. Walgreens shows up. Vox Ignis, having been removed from the former spirit of vengeance, so Banshee, tries to distract Mother Righteous, and Walgreens stabs her It's funny, everyone forgets the tail. But then Moira shows up, as Robo Moira is still alive, with the needed for the virus, and standing in front of the engine itself. And that is where the issue ends. We've still got the conclusion of Sins of Sinister coming next week in Sins of Sinister Dominion. But this has been... all three tie-in series were were fun reads. I especially like whenever they would kind of go into, okay, so we're at, year this, what's happened in the interceding years between the last issue, between two issues. So that's always nice to see. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Bishop War College number 3. Where we left off, Bishop found himself on Earth 1963, or Earth 63, just 63, where all the X-Men are apparently of African descent. Bishop, and there is a Lucas Bishop on that Earth. Not a soldier from the future, but rather a teacher. So, Fenris was still doing Fenrisy things in the catacombs underneath Krakoa. Because, well, Nazi bastards. Actually, I'm not sure they're technically... I mean, bastards not in a more figurative sense, but yeah. So we open on Earth 63. Bishop is face to face with his variant from that Earth. It's not like looking in a mirror. He knows it's not his face, and it's straight when he sees one. At Earth 63's Krakoan Quiet Council chambers, Bishop's exploits are shared with the Council. And Bishop from Earth 616 gets to see how things went on Earth 63 instead. But and he explains that he needs to find Tempo. She could probably send him back, but it turns out that Heather Tucker on Earth 63 is a scientist, but not a mutant. On Earth 616, Moira and Fei Long are waiting for status reports from Fenris. Fei Long does not explain that he thought trusting the Struckers was a bad idea. They're worse than snakes. And we learn that the plan is finding the pit and letting everyone in the pit out. Though, I'm not actually sure there's anyone in the pit currently. Maybe... Well, no, because Nature Girl and Sauron were freed by Doug. So, but inside the pit, Andrea Strucker's running from the combination of Alloy, Amass, not Alloy, Amass, Cam Long, and her brother. And she uses a knockout gas grenade on it, on said combination, which reverts the 3 individual mutants to three individuals. The Bishop's students are beginning to realize part of the plan, namely using the Blight Swill to infect Krakoa. Wrong Side was able to help them. Before Bishop travels from Krakoa to find Dr. Tucker, Destiny informs him that there's something coming for him and his world. Though Lucas states that in his universe, that's a constant. There's also a the remarks by Charles Xavier on the rededication of Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters on Earth 63, which does give us some information as to the other heroes of that Earth. But on Earth 63, people with people with powers just exist. They get to the Tucker Clinic. But there's an explosion as Bishop is trying to intimidate Heather into helping. The explosion, however, was caused by the Human Liberation Front. Seriously led by Fei Long. Seems Fei Long has, just as on Earth 606, bought Stark Industries because it seems everyone's wearing Iron Man tech. So it's hard to take guesses as to who else is behind the armor. There's one show, but I'm not entirely clear as to who it is. So, but otherwise, that's where the issue ends, and this has been an interesting series so far. Clearly, what Destiny said to Bishop is a nod to the upcoming X-Men crossover this summer, Fall of X. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got New Mutants Lethal Legion number 2. Where we left off, oh boy. Escapade, Cerebella, and Scout had decided to rob Count Nefaria, who is holding tries for the new Lethal Legion. Meanwhile, Wolfsbane and Escapade's best friend Morgan were in the sewers underneath New York, and there was a critter running after them. So we open in the sewers. There's a group that's appears to be planning for an attack by mutants, as well as a beast who devours. And well, Wolfsbane and Morgan end up running there, and well, but they do manage to lead the creature away. In Westchester, Escapade, Cerebella, and Scott are going over their heist gear, with the explanation that Cerebella will be performing the actual heist, while Scout and Escapade are the distraction. So they get in, and yeah. Apparently, there's also a transcript of Count Nefaria's 37th therapy transcript, which is when he made the decision to make a new Lethal Legion. Back in the sewers, Wolfsbane and Morgan come upon another sewer-dwelling community who are living in the area of the sewers that was at one time inhabited by the Morlocks. There's also a statement on the massacre from Garrett Flynn, who was one of the Morlocks. Back at Count Nefaria's, Escapade as Blasterdame is planning to throw her fight so that she can get to the heist part, but well, she manages to win. First against Cyborg, and then against well, there's a later fight. Though Bone Crusher from the Reavers thinks that Blaster Dame notices that Blaster Dame seems familiar. Scout, as Fisticuss, takes on Electa and wins pretty easily. On Krakoa, the rest of the mutants are realizing that Scout, Escapade, and Cerebella are missing. While Blaster Dame has her second fight, this time against Sweet William, Scout decides she's tired of the one at a time thing, is taking on everybody else at once. With the exception of Bone Crusher, Count Nefaria, and Count Nefaria's Monstrous Enforcer. But Blaster Dame and Nefaria have a chat while Cerebella's making her way to the vault. Along with Nefaria offering Blaster Dame a glass of wine. Grappa, to be exact. It's made from the stems, seeds, pulp, and skins that are thrown away when one makes wine. Scout is, of course, enjoying the buffet. Wolfsbane's able to calm down the creature in the tunnels, but Cerebella triggers a vault alarm around the same time that Bone Crusher fully recognizes Escapade. And to maybe change things up, Fisticuss challenges Count Nefaria. And to avoid being attacked by Bone Crusher, well, Escapade seemingly switches places with her. Only Escapade still has Scout's powers, and that is where the issue ends. This has been a fun little miniseries, and I like the outfits of our three New Mutants, their heist outfits, I should say. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got X-Force number 39. Where we left off, oh boy. Everything, basically all of Beast's crimes have finally kind of come congealed into a single plot line in a single book. Beast has gone rogue, making the Point his new base and removing it from Krakoa. Wolverine has revealed this to the Quiet Council, and he states that he's going hunting. Sage, well, gives a presentation to the council. She is offered she is offered and also offers to be the leader of X-Force. But the decision is made that X-Force does need some oversight. A member of the council will join, and Colossus ends up being that member. There's a brief write-up about this from his the Mind Control. Meanwhile, Sinister's Black Site. Oh, you guys remember that? The orbital black site that Sinister was running? Yeah, it's been taken over by... Oh. Blakemore, pirate from Morocco, and he decides that they got a cell block of biotech abominations, and they're going to unload said cargo. They talk about Deadpool, Omega Red, and Black Tom are discussing the new headquarters, including what they want out of for quarters. Wade needs a snack fridge, arsenal of bidets for. Basically, everyone should have a bidet. Omega Red, somebody wants a soundproof room, simple chair over a good drain in the center of it, hooked chains hanging from the ceiling, fully stocked tool bench along with a tray of surgical instruments and a car battery with jumper cables, which Wade notes is unsettlingly specific. But Sage has a plan which she shares with Tom, and they make a treehouse. At the Green Lagoon, Wolverine, Laura, is having a drinking game with Blob, Juggernaut, and Strong Guy. It's called Take a Shot. You take a shot, and then you take a shot. They go clockwise. So, Laura takes a drink, then does her shot, then takes a shot at Juggernaut. Juggernaut takes a shot, then takes a shot at Blob. Blob is knocked out. If you get knocked out, you lose. So then, if you knock someone out, you go again. So, Juggernaut takes another drink and takes a swing at Strong Guy. And Strong Guy asks Laura if her old man taught her this game. She briefly incapacitates Juggernaut and Strong Guy when Sage comes up, offering to recruit her. But the biotech monstrosities get dropped on the island, and some mutant kids are really landed. So Sage, Wolverine, Deadpool, and Colossus do what they can and save the kids. But then a portal opens up, and old man Quentin Quire steps out, stating that he needs X-Force's help. And that is where the issue ends. Okay, I like that we're kind of going for a new direction of sorts. At the same time, a new lineup. So, moving on though to our last book for the moment, we've got X-Treme X-Men number 5, wrapping up the miniseries. Where we left off, it was revealed that Kitty was not. Though everyone was depowered, and at the time Kitty was stuck in a rock. Kitty was not so much depowered as much as reverted to her natural state, which is intangibility. So she manages to get free. Lockheed's helping her. Wolverine is dealing with Ogun. Rogue is dealing with Sanzu and Soulscream. And Sage gives a whole speech about how is being different really anything bad, and even pointing out mutants who use their gifts for good, like a firefighter who happens to be a mutant, whose power is to absorb flames. and herself using her own powers to protect people. There was a mutant member of the Coast Guard who used her power to help save lives. And then the aforementioned fire lieutenant. But the idea is to calm the crowd down as they've been riled up by an anti-mutant group known as Purity. Storm goes after Scrap, the mini Sentinel, with an assist from Lockheed and Kitty. And they manage to get inside Scrap and mess it up from the inside while Ogun shows up. But Kitty and Storm are able to mess things up for Scrap. Everyone gets their powers back. But Ogun opts to use Scrap as his new host, and is promptly destroyed. Things seem to have worked out. There's some celebrating going on, though. The remains of Scrap are being picked up by one of the members of Purity, and Remy's thief friends, Big Sis and Little Sis, note this, though they're not sure they're going to tell Remy. They plan to just keep an eye on the girl. And that is where the series ends. It was a decent miniseries. I mentioned this quite a bit throughout the last few months with it. I didn't read X-Treme X-Men when it initially came out. At some point, I think an omnibus recently came out of it. At some point, maybe I'll pick that up and read through it, but it's not an era that holds a nostalgic value for me. But this was kind of intended as a wrap-up miniseries to wrap up plot lines, yet in classic Claremont fashion, dangle some new ones. So, anyway, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.